What's good, YouTube? What's good? Welcome back to Dark Hours. So this is a topic that I've always been wanting to talk about since there's really nothing to talk about in sports. Um, what do y'all define as being rich? Is it having a lot of money? Is it being wealthy? Like what's the difference between being rich and being wealthy? Well, being rich is to have astronomical numbers, right? Being rich is having a lot of money, you know, like 10 million, 20 million, 30 billion, $30 million, right? Being wealthy is just living the life that you want to live, like you have a nice car, you have a nice house, you have a good paying job, um, etc., etc. But to me, I don't, obviously, as Bob Marley put it, dedicatedly, money doesn't make you rich. It makes the people around you rich. Because I could be rich. I could have $10 million in my bank. Now, obviously, there's a fee for that because you can't have over a certain amount of money. So that's why you have to take a portion of that out and probably buy like a safe, put the rest in that stash. But there's a limit on how much money you could put in the bank. But he said living life is is more than being rich. Like was God rich? Was Abraham rich? Was Mary rich? No. Like I believe people around you are richer because, like Tupac said, all they want to do is gimme, push, take, right? Like when you're down in the dumps, oh, can I borrow $10? Can I borrow $15? No. Greedy, right? They only think for themselves. They only think for themselves. And we have family members just like that. When they need a couple of dollars here and there, we so quick to, okay. But when we need it, it's like a back slap. Oh, I don't have that much, or this and that. Like, it depends on who you ask, too. But I just view being rich is not really about having a lot of money. Because when you die, that money's still there. When you die, that money's still there. And I always said, like, act like you're poor. Act like you're broke. Act like you don't have anything. Because the more that you can just save and just save and just save, you may not have a lot. You may have little. But God is always watching you at the tippy top, Even if that drug dealer goes around and buy more drugs, or that crack fiend goes around and buy more drugs, at least you gave him something. There's a lot of people that's miserable, can't find a job, can't see their kids, this and that and the third. Like, there's a lot of things that's going on in this world, and we always focus on the negative. We always focus on the negative, and money. No, no amount of money can change who a person is, because money runs this economy, right? Money is the only thing that runs this economy. You know, we all want to be. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all, but majority of y'all want to be rich. We don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. We want to have an established household that we own, not renting. We want to have a steady income. Like, we would just want to live the American lifestyle. But the American lifestyle is not real. There's no such thing as an American lifestyle. Like, you know the saying, you can't be happy. You can't be happy in life. You're not born to be happy. Like, nobody's born happy in life. Everybody has that little switch in their mind that just, when you push them to a limit, they just, snap. It's called anger management, anger issues. Like, even I have bad days, but I don't come on here and rant about it. I live my life like Germany. If you understand the German lifestyle, they live their life undercover. They don't talk about their personal stuff. They don't put their personal stuff on the web for everybody to see. I live the way that benefits me, to where I do my time, clock in, clock out, go home, spend time with my son, and that's it. I barely even go out. I used to go out when I was like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now that I'm 33, it's like, I have, so much, to give, I have to constantly worry about my son going to school, and on top of that, I have to, do this and do that, like, I don't have a car for right now. It's like everything is just piling up, like I have to take Ubers here and there, or if not, but I always have a smile on my face, I always have a smile on my face. I just, like, people just look toward for negativity. And I get it, negativity sells. I'm not saying that it doesn't sell, but it sells. Like, nobody wants the good news, Like, if you ever watch the news, which you probably don't, there's always negativity. I mean, you might find some good things here and there, but most of the time it's always negativity. It's either somebody robbing the store, or somebody threatening with a bomb, or kids bringing guns to school, or transgenders are being killed because somebody looked at them wrong or said something. Like, not too long ago, a customer shot a person that was working at a fast food restaurant over a mixed up meal. Like, just because they got their meals mixed up, he pulled up in the drive-through and shot the person point blank. and he sped off. Like when I tell you this world is cold, you know. It's like every time people try to do something creative, bad stuff always happens. You know, like we can never live in a civilized world where it's peace. You know, it's always drama, drama, drama. You know, destruction, drama, destruction, drama. It's like we can never live in a peaceful world. Like, I don't know what heaven is like. You don't know what heaven is like. But the way it's explained is like it's peaceful, it's quiet, there's no drama, only a select few can go. The ones who done wrong is sent to hell. You know, in the description of the Bible, like it's a whole different world. You know, like what happens when we die? Do our body leaves our soul and go up to heaven? Because our bodies stay put. Our soul leaves our body and goes to heaven, but not everybody agrees. Everybody have different views, have different beliefs. You know, like the monks, they believe once you're deceased, your body doesn't go to heaven or hell. It goes to another person or an animal or a new baby. You're, you know, resurrected with somebody else. And you live in that body. And it just keeps on continuing. So, you know, but I just, you know, think about, like, you know, money solves a lot. You know, money helps when you have it. When you don't, it sucks. You know, you know. But like I said, I always, you know, say money don't make you rich. It makes the people around you more greedy. 'Cause that's all they see. Oh, Walter, that's my, you know, government name. Walter. Oh, Walter, let me hold, you know, 2,500. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that to, you know. Excuse me, did you help me make this money? No. So why should I give you anything? Come on, man, we blood brothers, man. Like we family. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give two F's. You did not help me make this money, so you're not getting it. Like I'll show you how to make your own money. Right? I mean, you got a job. You know, like wait till your next paycheck. Not being disrespectful, but sometimes you just gotta say no. And I'm not talking about PD. I'm just basically saying you gotta say no. You gotta put your foot down. You know, 'cause I was watching 30 for 30. Athletes were going broke, and Trent Richardson refused to say no. He was always yes, 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 yes. You would always be the first one to say yes. Iverson blowing his money. Michael Vick blowing his money. It's like Antoine Walker blowing his money. Like, damn. So when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Athletes going broke, but we can't save a paycheck to save our lives. We constantly have to do this and keep up with this and keep up with that. You know, if it's not kids, it's car bills. If it's not the car bills, it's the mortgage. If it's not the mortgage, it's something else. And when you die, it's even worse. That's why they always say celebrities are better off dead than they are alive. Because right now, Tupac owes a lot to death row. You know, Michael Jackson, he owns a lot to Sony Records. That's why they have that infamous 360 deal, you know. I remember Young Peppy said that they offered me 360 deal. I smiled and I declined that motherfucker. So he knew the business inside and out. He was no dummy. Because once you sign that contract, you're basically signing your life away. And you know, that's why a lot of artists are going independent now, is because you know, record labels are there to push the agenda. You know, if they want you to do certain things that you're not comfortable with, they'll find somebody else. Simple as that. You know, so I'll talk about that in another video, but let me know what y'all think about what does being rich mean to you. Like, comment, subscribe.